What's up, everybody? Hi, welcome to another Monday live stream. My name is Guillaume, and for those of you who knows, I'm a sound engineer. I talk about live sound. I talk about the Behringer Wing or anything else that I could put my hands on, and I believe would be interesting for you to take a look at. So, with that said, hi, good Monday. Hope you guys had a great weekend. What's up, Poland? Bonjour la France, everybody. Just a reminder, if you speak French, si vous parlez français, it will be a pleasure for me to answer your question in French. I don't mind doing it as long as, you know, it's not the whole show doing in French. As long as we can all have fun here, I don't mind if you're struggling with English. Si vous avez de la difficulté avec l'anglais, it will be a pleasure for me to help you guys out. What's up, Pancho? It's been a while. Good to have you back, my friend. How's the setup looking? Let me know, guys. Is it good? I'm expanding behind the camera, and I'm probably gonna have a video about what's gonna happen with my room. There's a couple things that I wanted to be done in this studio, YouTube studio, because it's definitely not a recording studio like I planned for it to be. I'm gonna move something around, put some pipes and conduit into the ceiling so I can have computer on the other room, cabling from everywhere in this room, Cat5e, Ethernet, HDMI going everywhere for me to plug my cameras and my power everywhere. So, because, okay, all that to say that this week and the upcoming week, I'll be on vacation. It's my first time ever as a sound engineer where I take some time off in 20 years. I want to address this as because I see a lot of people here, even on this channel, tell me that they're running like they run as many gig as they can, they run as many shows as they can, because there's less and less people there to do those show, technician or engineer or roadie or call it however you want, is going down. People don't want to do those jobs that are difficult. It's not an easy job. I can tell you, after spending 3 days in mud, and actually 2 days in mud, and after that it was a really bright, shiny, sunny day, I literally spent 48 hours with wet shoes doing shows for people that, you know, had better rain gear than I do. And after that, once things started to dry up with the sun, I pretty much got a sunburn from being exposed a full day in the sun, because I was out there. Even if I had some, you know, sunscreen on, I burned again. So it's a hard job when you tell that to somebody that is upcoming in the business, that he's gonna have to spend, you know, mix a show with an iPad in a field that is soaking wet, and the day after he's gonna enjoy the sun for like the first hour, and after that he's gonna burn, because, you know, mixing with an iPad, you don't have an easy up. So yeah, it's not a job that the kids nowadays want to do. Love First, what's up? Good name, I love that. Love First. Actually, I love my coffee. Today it's my day where I just keep calm and carry on. We're gonna have a good time together. I hope you guys enjoy your coffee. Sorry, I just woke up. This is why I started a little late today. I literally just woke up after 3 days of festival, took some time off to sleep because it's my vacation day. I'm on vacation, I'm off. I'm not here, actually I'm here with you guys. But, yeah. Vacation is over. Oh yeah, Rob, you're probably tired of your vacation, right? You spent a month, lucky you had a month off. I'll be lucky if I really take a week off. But the plan is for me to just take a week and probably close my cell phone. I don't know if you guys ever done this, but I want to close my cell phone for a week. I've never done that before, or not in the last, how many years? Has it been 15 years that I have a cell phone? It was pretty much on 24/7. I'm gonna close it for a week. I want to try that. and I will see. But before unplugging, I want to answer Love First question about plugging stuff. Do you plug everything into a power conditioner? Yes, here at my house. I'm lucky enough to got a great deal on used those APC battery backup, basically. I'm using that as a backup for a power source for my computers, because if I ever have a power outage, I don't want them to shut like right away. It's gonna take me like a few minutes to close everything, and I have an old with not so good battery, but just like good enough, so if I have a power drop, I can go like, oh okay, power drop, I can just like save everything, close down, and we're good to go. But I don't really need to, because I live in Quebec, and Quebec is the most reliable, most cheapest, best electricity in the world. So rule doesn't apply to me. Well, all the rules don't apply to me here the same as I know some of you guys in the States or other country. I heard like horror story of power. You also have the pictures of like having a bunch of electrical wire wired together on a pole somewhere. It's not the case here. I'm knock on wood, I live in a good country for power. But yeah, if you think power is a problem, go take a look for a power conditioner, but don't just get the cheap Furman PL8, PL8X or stuff like that. Those, and I need to do a video about that. Those are just a overpriced, way overpriced rack mount power bar. If you want to spend money on something, go get a UPS. That's the word I was looking for, or letters I was looking for. Go get a UPS with a battery backup. That way, it's going to protect you from power surge, power drop, and if you really run out of power for a while, the battery will last you a couple minutes, if not an hour. And if you need to shut down, well, you have time to do a safe shutdown on your gear, on your console, on your everything. So that will be my recommendation. I know they're really heavy to carry around. If you want to put that in a rack, make sure that you have somebody to help lift it with you, because it will be really hard. They're really heavy. The batteries are really heavy. But yeah, with experience now and the kind of stuff that I saw over the years, I would say don't get a power conditioner, get a UPS for your house. And on the road, if you get a good deal on a UPS, get that. What about PA and subs for everything? Well, you can't. You just need a really good power distribution. If we're talking about something that is, festival scale, you just need a good distribution that will protect your gear. This is why you would pay a lot of money for that. But everything that draw more than 15 amps is like, nope. Okay, Fred, what about the new firmware? I don't know. I didn't play around much with the console. I was out doing shows, as I said before. I don't know what's going to happen with that. I know it's been worked on. I didn't check, actually, if there was a new beta version to be released internally or to the internal beta tester. But yeah, there's some stuff that I leaked out last week. And yeah, that's about it for now. I don't know what's going to happen with the firmware. I don't know when it's going to be released. I cannot give it to you, because some people ask me to give it to them. I cannot give it to you. Wait for the public release. It's going to be better for you. But just know that there's some stuff that is worked on. You're not forgotten. Everybody is thinking about you, wing user, and stuff's going to happen. Just wait. I know it's boring to just wait, but just wait. Honestly, there's a lot of small stuff happening, but nothing that is life-changing happening with new firmware. Cool stuff that will give you like a little increment over what's happening here, but nothing life-changing. No new plugin that's gonna revolutionize your mix, like there was really such a thing. I need to do a video about that. How many like how many marketing crap people are saying about new plugin that's gonna change, that's gonna revolutionize your mix. Like it ever did something. Actually, one of my favorite quote is, I need to translate it, but basically, like, they didn't have plugin back when they recorded Dark Side of the Moon or whatever iconic album, the Black Album from Metallica. They didn't have plugin. They had to plug gear in, and you all have those tools available, basically in the wing already. So you don't need. If you need cool, more flexible routing, stuff like that, this is, I believe, what we can expect from the new firmware, but no plugin or anything else. Question about the JBL, the SRX 812P and limiter. It's really close to what I just run for the weekend. I have the 512P in limiter. Seems like you have to run the mixer way hotter. Have you had this problem? If it's the same amp, basically, that I have on the 512, I put the limiter all the way up, basically like all the way to the right, up to 10, because I don't need limiter attenuation on myself. I trust myself to make sure that I don't clip my speaker. Is that your question? Because this is how I've run it. I know when you're like turning the limiter down, it's gonna attenuate or limit the sound going out of the speaker while actually going into the amplifier and being amplified and sent into the speaker. But yeah, basically no, never had any problem. This limiter cannot be adjusted. Okay. The JBL 812P. I need the SRX JBL. I need to take a look at that and make sure that we're talking about the same thing. Gonna go JBL SRX 812P. Let me take a look at that speaker, just so we know what we're talking about. If I go into image, can I get a... Oh! I have the blurriest image ever. Hold on. I know that I'm looking at a DSP of some sort. And I know... Okay, I've worked with those box before. You sure you can adjust the DSP on that? Hold on. Anybody said that? Limiter lights come on in the display. It's probably because you have... well, I believe you can adjust the limiter on that. Hold on. Let's talk about the JBL here. If there's a couple things that happen here. You need to check out the amount of energy, dBVU, electrical dBVU that you're sending out to that speaker, and make sure that the dB adjustment on it is making sense. Make sure that the input, the sensibility of the input is adjusted correctly. Because if it is, and the way it should be, if your limiter is set to 0 dB, well, to start limiting at 0 dB, you should be able to send all the way before clipping to that speaker before it's gonna limit the signal that you're sending into it. Or minus 18 depending on the scale that it's based on, but you probably have the option to raise the limiter then. But it should be there in the volume in the back. I don't know if it's pre or post limiter, but I would need to check that out. I would need to test it. I would know really quickly, but my first guess here would be to do a full factory reset on the DSP, and after that, I don't understand why you cannot adjust the limiter on the speaker. You should be able to adjust it, at least on the way down, but you should be able to play with it. You can adjust it in the audio software. Okay, that's probably the way to go, but they should be as loud as advertised. I don't know how loud those speakers are. I'm gonna take a look at the spec quickly. Yeah, it's an amp limiter. Yeah, that's the way it should be used, and it's there to protect the speaker. It's not there for you to use as a mastering limiter. Just so we're clear here. If I take a look at the spec, I'm gonna go on the JBL website. Really loud speaker. The spec says it's gonna go to, hold on, there's just advertisement. 2,000 watt. Doesn't mean anything. 2,000 watt. If I go with the spec sheet, we have a couple things really interesting. We have, I don't know if you guys can see this or not. Yeah, it's probably too bright for my camera. Basically, it gives you the EQ curve for that speaker from the manual, which is really cool because you know how they are tuned out, and they're fairly flat. So I believe they would be good sounding or good at reproducing what you're sending into it. And the maximum level SPL for that speaker is, if I can find it, do they advertise it? Yes. Okay, yes. 136 dB. Maximum SPL output before it catch on fire, basically. Which should be fairly loud. So I don't know what's wrong with that speaker, Poncho, to be honest, because it should be fine. It should be a damn fine speaker, especially with the EQ curve being fairly flat. It should be fine. You know, every speaker, even like when you send out a pink noise into it and you make sure it's balanced perfectly flat, it's gonna have a certain color to it, the way the components are responding to a mix. But yeah, it should be known about the limiter coming on. So maybe it's set incorrectly from the factory. I would download the manual and probably just remove it if you can. You can probably turn it off, because I don't know. I don't know why it would like react like that. So it's probably something from the factory that they did not like. They set the limiter too low, and honestly, I would just go there and just turn it off. Hold on. I tried to read what you guys had to say. Love first. How much does a generator cost? Because for my church, I was thinking of Black Lion GP2, a generator. Like you want a power generator? Dude, I'm not the guy to ask for this. Honda generator are considered great for it. Yeah, actually, I've run some show out of those small Honda small generator, like those 15 amp one, and they were fine. But why would you need a generator to burn up gas? If you want to do a show outside and you don't have any source of power, yes, sure, a generator is the way to go. It will be your best, most stable way to have good power. And my experience so far have been good, but you probably don't need a generator otherwise. Just get a power conditioner. If the power drop off, then you're out, basically, because you cannot run lights off of a battery UPS or something like that. Well, maybe you could, but not for a long time. What's up, Kansas City? Well, what's up? It's been a while, man. I saw you a couple weeks ago. But, okay. Lonely cat over there. Sorry, guys. You guys heard it, right? Okay. What's going on after that? Where are we going? Because we've been talking a little bit about that speaker. Maybe a couple things about the wing. Maybe we can go take a look while we're here, just together. You know, I like to drop cues about the new stuff happening in the firmware. I do not have the release note in front of me. So let's go dive into the stuff here. If I can leak some stuff happening here. What else? What else is there that has been added to the firmware? I think they redesigned that page, right? It was not looking that square before. And actually like the look of this one. The media remote stuff has changed a little bit. I think they had some stuff in that menu. The head-up remote, that's been there for a while. That did not change the AW remote. The routing menu did change a lot, as you guys seen before. We now have, sorry, my bad, the damn backward routing. Urgh. I hate it. That's the only thing that I hate about the wing, is the patch system. Other than that, we're fine. But dude, this thing is backward. What's up, Federico? It's been a while since you've been around. Well, we're really glad to have you around. Like I was showing, basically, for those of you who didn't follow, the user signal had some stuff added to... what I mean backward is on every single other console, you have your input on the left side that you assign to either channel, bus, or other stuff, or effect rack. And from there, you have option to go the other way around. If you ever want to, but the wing is built the other way around. You have your output on the left, you select an output, and you select the source for that output to be your local input, to be your main, to be your bus. Every single other console on the market that I know, go back to the Midas Pro series, go to the HD96, go to an X32 even. It's all done from left to right, from input to output. No, I don't want it to go right to left. I want it to go left to right. But I don't want my output. I want my input to be there. Yeah. I would like the console to be, you have your source here, and you say, I want that source to go there. This is how I think. This is how every other console is thinking. And when you're doing multiple console, because right now I don't have anything plugged in there, but I remember doing something live on a show with a guy that wanted to connect a DL32 into a X32 and send that all the way to the front of the wing. I said, oh, okay, you got a wing up front. The guy knew me from YouTube. He's a local guy. So he goes like, hey, yeah, can you help me with doing this? Yeah. And I did the full manipulation backward. Because I said, okay, you want your source from here. And I start to patch some stuff on the X32 and from... It was not working. it was not working out this way. So I looked like a fool. After that, I go like, oh no, I totally did it backward, and I did it the other way around. And the week after that, live on this stream, somebody asked me how to do a certain manipulation about like routing like this, and I got it also live on the stream totally wrong from A to Z. Went back, and there you go. I want it to be like the signal flow of audio. Yes, Poncho, you're damn right. I just want that. It's simple. It should be, the routing menu should be a little different. I believe it should be having your source menu somewhere here when you can set up your source. That is perfect. Do not change anything here. You have your source. You can actually, it should be closer to this. Maybe we should have the naming somewhere else, but I understand that when you are on a page where there's a lot of stuff, there's no, other option to put it, but it's fine like that. Don't change it. Having the source menu, channel menu should not exist. This should be gone. Your main and out channel, it should not be there. I believe you should have a patching menu where you have all your source. So it could be all your local stuff, your main and out channel could be here. When you select a source, like I'm gonna do it the other way around, because right now I have to select a output for us, which doesn't make sense to me. I have to select an output for me to set up a source into it. I want to tell the console I want that source to go where. So I should be able to select AES50 here. Imagine that we're on the right side, so this is not like this. I want my channel, I want my preamp AES-A1 to go where? I want it into my channel. I want it into my alternate. I want my playback. And here I should have my player in and out, also the same thing. So that way you always take the source, you take that microphone preamp that you're having, and you just send it to the channel, the direct out, or straight out to a straight to an output P16, because the way that I'm thinking of sound, I'm up to discussion on that. Absolutely nothing wrong with discussing this. My approach has always been, you take the source, sound source, from the microphone to the preamp, and you're thinking about it this way. You're having your channel strip going all the way down, and you want to do something with that channel strip. So if you're thinking about a source for that channel strip, you should be able to take a source and patch it, that channel strip. That's been my approach for a year. This is how all the other consoles have been approached so far. So this is why I'm having a hard time with the Wing. It just doesn't work this way. Okay, Ivan, what's up? Good to have you around, man. Let me see what you guys have to say about that. Are there any interesting reaction to the Wing Family expansion picture from the Wing that were leaked a couple weeks ago? So far, people ask me about the remote control rack. This is what a lot of people send me message about, and it's not gonna happen this way. There won't be, as far as I know, any remote control or remote interface available. All I know is there will be a rack that was going to be released at some point, because I don't know if it's going to be soon or not, but I know they're working on a rack with 24 channel, 24 preamp, as we saw before, all combo jack, which makes sense. And I believe the front panel will tilt one way or another. Maybe that's going to be scrapped, maybe that's not going to be happening on the final version, final release. But this is what I understand. Also, there's pictures of a Wing Compact, but nobody seems to talk about that because it's never been officially leaked on Facebook other than the picture that I've posted. I took the picture from the Behringer forum from a moderator there, so I believe this is a real thing. It doesn't look like Photoshop at all, to be honest. So we'll see what's happening with that. But yeah, not a lot of reaction so far. I'm really excited because I wanted to go HD96 Air if it ever get released at some point. But I think I'm gonna go more like, hold on. I think I'm gonna go more. Sorry guys, I'm looking for my mouse. There we go. I think I'm gonna go more with maybe a wing compact in the future. And probably sell this one to get the smaller one, because my back is not getting younger anymore, and I cannot bring this thing a couple of flights of stair every time that I want to use it. It's sometimes honestly I leave it in my basement and I just take my X32 core with my DL251 because it's less heavy and it's already on the second floor, so I don't have to move it a flight of stairs, and my back thank me for it. Red Rolf's question here. Thank you very much for being around, man. Really appreciate that. Have you tried using the MIDI to have some sort of background automation using MIDI time base? Most of the stuff on the wing do not react to MIDI, so no. I was thinking about it, but the band where I wanted to do that didn't had really enough show for me to spend hours and hours on doing like MIDI automation stuff. I'm looking more into OSC stuff because, you know, I would love, like everybody else, to have my tap tempo to be like set by the song. And most of the band that I'm work with using backtrack. So if they use backtrack, they're on the click track, and if they use a click track, there's definitely a way for me to get time adjustment there. So I'm thinking about doing some stuff like that. I'm probably gonna research that when somewhere in my life where I have time to do this. But yeah, this is what I'm trying to do. Maybe not going MIDI, more going OSC. I believe it will be the future-proof way to do it, and I just don't know how it can be, how it can send trigger information from a DAW session, like from Logic, to go into the console. And basically OSC is able to control whatever function that you want on the console. I mean, you could literally like repatch an input for a song from an OSC command, because I believe I can be wrong here. I would need to have somebody like Patrick to tell me about that, or maybe Rob know the question. But I believe the control surface of the console is talking OSC to the computer inside. So it doesn't matter if the command is coming from somewhere else, like from a laptop sending a command to the computer inside, or me just raising that fader. It's the same result, because the command has to be sent from the fader. Say, oh, the fader is moving all the way to 0, example. But I could do the same thing, like over time, having in 5 seconds having my fader move from minus infinite to 0 dB. So maybe that's the future for now. Going OSC and not MIDI for the wing configuration. I'm trying to read the chat. Will, yeah, you're slowed down by the patching thing too. I'm not the only one. Hey, what's up? 31 band GEQ effect on wing. With the newest software, can you move around the yellow rectangle highlights? Which band corresponds to the okay, we'll take a look at that. Hold on, interesting one. With a 31 band EQ. It's been a while since I played around with a 31 band EQ here, because I don't usually use 31 band EQ. But I luckily have one here. That's that's, yeah, 31 band EQ. I believe I would need to touch the unnamed knob to move the yellow. Yeah. And you have all the frequencies here in the bottom. Is that your question? Can you move it around and highlight which band corresponds to the ring color on the bottom of the screen? Do they change anything about that? Because honestly, I'm not a GEQ user. I understand them, and I've used them in the past, but my approach has always been to use a parametric EQ and just use like the couple frequencies that I would need. I rarely have to EQ all the frequencies or to like really shape something with a GEQ. I think it's more flexible to have 8 parametric EQ and do like small like EQs here and there, or do really big, like taking, like if I have too much higher frequencies in a speaker, I will take a parametric EQ with a high shelf or a low shelf, boost the lows if I have enough headroom in front of me, or just take the horn, like asking the manufacturer or listening for the crossover point and just go like shelf it down. Sometimes I have good result with that. So GEQ to me are creating more phasing problem, or I feel they sound weird more than they help, especially when you have 8 full parametric that can be like really tailored out to the frequency that you want instead of being blocked to the 31 frequency that you have there. Just my opinion. But yeah, it seems to be working fine with the rotary knob. It just, you know, it's working left to right, and you have the frequencies in the bottom changing. I honestly would rather just go like this and changing them with my hand, grabbing it like the right one, go like this, than just like using the wheel and grabbing this. Hold on. Hey, how do you get back? Can you unselect the frequency? How did I get out of there? Okay, you need to okay, if you select a frequency, basically what you need to do is go in the bottom here under the band, or at the top. Can I go at the top? No, you need to go at the bottom here until the rectangle comes back to be yellow, and you have now access to change it. Okay, not that intuitive, honestly. It's working. I would just rather play around with my finger on it, but that's up to you. Maybe source to be the destination rather than out. I think they would need to rethink the way that they are doing the routing on the wing. I don't think it's optimal. I think it's working fine right now. It's from a working standpoint. I just think the perspective should be from the source, because it's the signal flow. And the biggest game-changing event of my life was when I understood signal flow, and I think this is disrupting that whole, like, it's totally disrupting the whole process of thinking by the signal flow how it should be patched. I think it should be patched by the signal flow, if that makes any sense to you guys. It makes a lot of sense to me, but I'm not the one designing the console. I'm just a guy doing some YouTube videos, so you can know what's going on with that console. Then you had 5 days of rock concert. It was all mixing on the wing, plus a DL250, DL32 and DL16. How was it? You had a good time? And all the people was driven by a Viera Matrix on the wing. I was system engineer and sound guy at the same time. Yes. Plus DJing pause. Oh, come on. 5-day, 8-band. Most channel was 36 for stereo in here. Yeah, classic. 5 monitor. Yeah, the classic for a band. Automate from Patrick is really cool. Yes, go check out his website, x32ram.com. If you don't know who Patrick Gilles is, he's one of my moderator here. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup, Patrick, to do so. And he's got a website where he's doing a lot of cool stuff for the Wing, a lot of side software that you can run on the computer to like do really cool stuff with the Wing. So be on the lookout for his stuff, x32ram.com, x32ram.com. Go buy him a software, he deserves it. Ooh, good morning. The yellowish rectangle on my Wing is stationary and doesn't move like yours. Okay, so maybe it's gonna be fixed in the firmware update. In setup, you have to enable the option fader. Touch hole. What is that? Let's go take a look at that. That's in setup, and you said fader. Fader touch select. Fader touch select. Screen follows. Where is that? I know I saw that before. Yeah. Is it in the surface? It's not in remote. Is it in audio? Fader touch select. Fader touch select. Where is that? Fader touch select. Full fader paging. Where is that? Can you guys help me? Can you guys know where what Andy said is? I just don't know the right page, right? Is it? Oh, touch fader select. That's for touch fader select is not what I think it is. I believe every time that I see touch fader select is when you have the channel select by touching the fader, but it's not. That is another parameter somewhere else. Touch fader select. It's probably going to be for the 31 band EQ, like we spoke before, right? That's going to be it. And after that, if I'm... Nope. Not the same thing. I believe I'm totally out here, right? It doesn't work that way, or I'm not understanding the right thing. But the way that I'm running it right now is by selecting a frequency if I want to. I'm doing this, and if I want to move that frequency, I can do the unused knob, the unnamed knob, I should say, next to the screen. And if I want to move my yellow rectangle, I can just go in the bottom here, and I have access to all my frequency. It would be fun to have a fully reset knob on this one, right? Sure, somebody already complained about that. The way to change it really fast would be to grab another EQ and to change it back to where it was. If I'm doing this, you know, like a really good graphic EQ for monitoring, something like that. No low mids. Who likes low mid and a lot of high end, right? No, I'm just kidding. The quick way to reset that would be to just do this, and your 31 band EQ is reset. I don't like this way. I think at the point we're at now, we should have a reset button on the 31 band and on the graphic EQ here. There's definitely space on the UI for a full reset button. Should not be that hard to implement, but I'm not a developer again. I'm just a sound guy. But yeah, this is the thing that I would like to happen to the wing. What about putting an arrow down to show which way the signal flow? Yeah, it will be an option. Or honestly, Pancho, if they just could do it the way that everybody else is doing it, it will cut down on the menu because it will be your source menu and just the patching menu where you can take anything from left to right and make it make sense. And it could be all done on two single window from whatever source that you have. So you have all the source option for something and all the possible destination for something, and go from input or signal generated whatever source main and send it to wherever you want, because you can actually on the console take a main and send it to a channel if you want to. You can do this. If we can have all those options from the signal flow, take a source and just a destination, it will make a lot of sense. But again, I'm just giving out ID. I have no leverage. I cannot push anything to Behringer, and they pride themselves into doing so. They do not pay for influencer anymore. They do not send out stuff for free or for review anymore. And so far in my life, I didn't get anything from Behringer. Not even a sticker, not a t-shirt, not wing, not anything. I did not get anything from them. So, and I only had a deal on my console because I knew somebody that can have a price from the distributor. I was working in a shop, as we call it here, in a store that has connection with the distributor. They gave me a deal because I knew the dealer, but I got it at dealer price, so I did not get any special deal on it. Okay. Here's one in French. I'm gonna try to read it and I'm gonna try to translate that for you guys. I was doing Maximilien was doing in-ear monitor for a show, multiple artists over the weekend, and the people did not show up for sound check. You did a pre-mix with vocal, vocal 10 dB higher than the band usually. So I'm doing the same thing most of the time. I'm just like setting up the band, pretty much everything, and vocal really high. That's a good starting point. You're halfway there if you're doing this. No compression in the ears, which totally makes sense. I try to avoid compression in the ear as much as I can. But the singer didn't seem to be satisfied, and the band was really happy. What's your opinion on that? I'm gonna answer that one in French first, and I'm gonna get back to you guys. Mon approche personnelle serait exactement la même chose que tu as fait. C'est possible que les chanteurs n'étaient pas heureux avec leur résultat. Mais je crois personnellement que c'était la meilleure approche pour des personnes qui ne se présentent pas une balance de son. C'est la meilleure approche que tu peux avoir avec ça. Très peu d'égalisation et pas de compression. Après, c'est une question de goût. Let me translate that really quickly. This is exactly the approach that I would took to that problem. If somebody did not show up to the sound check, is not happy with that, just do whatever you can and ask them to show up for sound check. And yeah, I think the good approach here would be to have no compression in the ears and not too much, don't over EQ anything to start with. Just go like basic and having like usually I set my vocal in the in-ear mix to be 0. I gain that out until I get a minus 18, maybe a little higher. And I put the band around minus 10, minus 20, adjust the taste after that. But it's my approach. If I'm building something out of, like, if I need to do a sound check with nothing on it, or people not showing for sound check, and I have to guess with no information a mix or a singer, that will be my approach. And honestly, most of the time that I'm doing monitor, this is roughly what I have for a singer. It's vocal really, really loud, reverb, no compression, a little bit of EQ, and the band like really subtle in the back. It's been the recipe so far, and it's been working for me. If people don't show up for sound check and complain, show up for sound check. Ralph, it sounds weird to hear you in French. Yeah, you want to know the funny thing? I have some people that telling me that I meet on the street or in venues. Some people don't hear me speaking out in French. And in every day, like, I live in French, basically. So it's weird for me to speak English, and I don't sound. I know I don't sound the same. It's a joy of speaking a couple language. Anyone have inside scoop on why they did it this way? Honestly, about the patching, no, we don't. Honestly, we don't. Personally, I send my drums in a drum bus, mix out in compression for ear monitors. I don't. I understand why some people would do that, but I don't, because I want to give complete freedom of what you want to have in your ear. Because most of the time, bass player don't want to have the full kit. They want like snare and hat. They're gonna take a little bit of kick, or the other way around. Some people like to have, some bass player like to hire, like that really fat kick, like punching your ears, like if he was like living in a bass drum, and almost no snare. So I always give the player the option to have all the parts of the drum, and most of them don't want to have the toms, don't want to have the overheads. They just want like kick, snare, hat most of the time. And yeah, if possible, you can double up the tracks. That will work. If you have to do front of house and in-ear monitor from the same console, that will definitely work. Yeah, you'll see that on the replay. What's up, man? Good to see you. No, you didn't miss much. Today is just talking. I'm having a good time with you guys. Really, really glad to have. We're 18 right now. I feel amazing to have 18 of you guys here. While I'm thinking about it, please like this video. Make sure that you tell YouTube that we're doing something here, it's happening. So like the video, it's like only a few seconds. Just click on that. If you are writing in the chat, it's because you're subscribed to the channel. Thank you very much for doing so. And yeah, ring the bell. Make sure that you ring the bell so you get the notification where we're going live, because I change within 15 minutes every time that I'm going live on the Mondays, because sometimes I'm late. I have some other stuff happening, like today. Woke up too late. I have way too much on my plate right now. This is why I'm needing vacation. Love first. Welcome back, my friend. And yeah, just make sure that you ring the bell so you get the notification when we're going live. You know everything else, all the member things, all that. You guys know all that stuff. I'm not gonna go back again into that, just for fun. What else? What else you guys want to talk about? You got the floor. This show is not about me. It's all about you and your question about Twing, live sound, anything else that we can talk about. And I really like the kind of conversation that we're having right now. You guys teach me so much. Really, really cool. Really, really cool to have all of you around. It's crazy how much I learn. It's crazy how together as a community we help out each other, we give out opinions. It's wonderful. We're having always a good time here. We're always having a good time here. I should learn to speak English. It's always fun. We're elevating a lot of people. It's always on the good side, constructive. We don't have a lot of trolls. Thank you very, very much for being part of this, guys. It means the world to me what we built together. Because without you, this channel doesn't exist. Without the almost 5,000, I'm gonna knock on wood, almost 5,000 people subscribed to this channel, I would be doing this for nothing in my basement. I would just be another guy in this basement. Now we are together helping out each other and give out really good opinion and experience together. We have so much experience and situation experience that we can it's amazing. It's amazing. Okay, before I forget about it, next week, and I tell that to all the people who are here and all of those of you who watch in playback, next week I'm on vacation. There won't be a live show, but there will be a conversation that was recorded live with Baba Z. You probably see him on Facebook a lot. He's right here in chat with you guys, and we talk about I think it's a new series I want to start. I'm gonna probably call that like Engineer Talk or something like that, and we talk about the Wing versus the HD96 and some cool stuff. I think I'm gonna short it down because it was a long phone call. I'm gonna short it down to somewhere around 45 minutes, and we basically talk about experience and stuff that we like and we don't like about the Wing, and it's on a really positive side. I don't want and I'm not here to bring anybody down. It doesn't help in any way to do this. So next week, no live show, just a engineer's talk about nothing, about everything kind of show. So thank you very much for being here with me. We're not done here. We're not done at all. Just let me catch up with the chat and say, Maximilien, cheers everyone. Thanks for the advice and the conversation. Thank you for providing some stuff to this show. Thank you for providing content to this show. Really appreciate that. Merci beaucoup, Maximilien. My monitoring setup is pre-EQ, and all monitor speaker are EQ for prevent of feedback. In-ear monitor are mostly flat EQ with the IO cut. The low cut, the low cut to remove rumble in ears, and I'm using the tap EQ for small correction. Okay, makes sense. Usually I tend to go post EQ on my stuff, but it's gonna work. It's just gonna feel more flat. Like you can enhance some frequency on the in-ear, especially on the in-ear. In the monitor, I get it. Flat is probably the way to go, or as flat as possible. This is what I do when I do monitor. I go as flat as possible. I try to not EQ too much because you don't want to change the tone that the player is sending you. I try to adapt to that. If it sounds like garbage, of course I'm gonna do some things. But when you are with good player, they usually have a good tone right out of the bat. You don't need to EQ anything. It's gonna work. But for in-ear monitor, I like to go post EQ and color that a little bit, and usually I get good result. But it's not a bad approach as long as it doesn't feedback in monitor, and as long as you can get people happy, it's fine. I've decided to go with the Behringer Wing. Can you tell me more about it? It's a great console that's gonna do everything that you want. Guys, help. I don't know. How can you sell the Wing? There's so many things. It's the best. I'm gonna go with the usual stuff. It's the best console feature-wise that you can get for that price point. It's physically not built that bad. Seriously, it's not. You feel it's not the best fader in the world, but they are just fine as long as you don't like hammer them down or you don't block them with your coffee mug on your console. It's a fine console. You did a good choice there. You have a lot of option for in and out, a lot of flexibility in the routing, a lot of flexibility on the design of the console itself, because it's not limited to what you have here. You can basically reassign the blocks. Hold on, let me do this. You can basically reassign the blocks in the signal chain, so it will do whatever you want, and you have a bunch of tap points. Basically, just watch all my videos. I have a lot of video that show what the Wing can do, and I hope you're gonna like it. But yeah, more than fine. Great flexibility is the Wing. Highlights. Another French one here. I'm gonna try to read that. Hold on, I tried to translate that as I'm reading. So, okay, you can do... Okay, Fred is out of this world. With OpenOffice, he did a command line that can realize automation, basically automation code for the SysX system, certain track on the console from the Reaper. Okay. I'm not there. All I'm gonna say is I'm not there. Hey Arjun, it's been a while. I was trying to record multi-track with a pen drive, so a USB key is another way to say it, and I saw an output. I selected the 4-track, which I wanted to record after recording. I found out that I was recording one file, not multiple track. Actually, hold on. It's a multiple track. You have to open it into a DAW. It's a 4-channel WAV file. If you open up in your DAW, whatever it could be Reaper, could be Logic, could be anything. As long as you leave your coffee mug on your console, you can open up. You can open up your USB key, drop your file into a session of your DAW, and ask your DAW to open it up as 4 mono file, and you're gonna get your 4 recorded track. It should be able to play that back, no problem. Give that a try and let us know. You were not impressed by the SQ7, right? Actually, I'm gonna go on record. I was not impressed. It did its job. I had a hard time with the effect. The effect were not the stock one from the console. I had no other plugins, I believe, other than some compressor. But the reverb in chorus were not amazing for me. They were fine. I would say I was not used to them as much as I am used to the one from the X32 or the Wing. So I didn't feel like home. I was not blown away by it. When I did 2 shows on SQ7 recently. One, a really small 4-input, like upright bass, acoustic guitar, 2 vocal, like really folk, easy listening music, and that was fine. I'm usually using a lot of effect on these smaller shows to like make that setup feel bigger, I send my bass into a chorus, so it feels more stereo, my guitar into a chorus, and then I send that chorus into a reverb, and that reverb into another reverb, and I build like my 4 effect thing with a delay in there. So everything is more three-dimensional because I'm sending a short reverb into a long reverb, and it tailor out, the way it tells. It's a hard process to explain, but if you hear it, you would know right away. It will feel big. And I did not invent anything there. It's all been done in the studio before. Just go check out Chris Lord Algae plugin, where he has 4 reverb sending out into the return of every single effect, sending out into another delay reverb, and basically a bunch of effect put together, like I used to do back in the day, where I was plugging my M1 into my PCM60 mono delay into a stereo reverb, and you play around with the wet dry, and it's just gonna sound awesome because you have your delay tailor out into a bigger reverb, and it's just like give depth and 3D feel. But when I did a band, I did a full 32 input band on the SQ7, used most of the stock configuration, compressor, gate. It was fine. I made it sound good, but it was not. I like my mix to be together. Like, I like my mix to be like really tight together, where everything just overlap over one another, and it just feel like a brick coming at you, especially for country rock like I was doing with that band. I just wanted to be a punch in the face. Your bass drum, I want the low end to feel fat and consistent. And with the SQ, some people will see it as a quality, some people will see it as a flaw. Everything was too separated from one another. It didn't feel like that massive, how can I describe it? Usually I describe it like a bowling ball coming at you. It didn't feel like that. It just felt like everything was in its own place and separate from one another. Not the result that I was expecting. I like the Midas sound. I guess the wing sound, because I'm using a Midas preamp. I like when things are like really tight together. Basically, go take a listen at the few mix that I've posted on my vlog. Those are close to what I'm trying to achieve. Some people like it, some people don't like it. Maybe it's more my heavy metal background of taste in music that makes me like try to have everything just like really tight together, open in the high end, but the mid-range and the fat mid-range and subs, I want it to be like pumping at you. This is my approach. So the SQ did not get me there. Maybe, I'm gonna say it this way, maybe if I was doing a orchestra, it will be better suited for that. Where I think if I want to do rock and roll, I'm gonna go more to the Midas. The wing is kind of sitting between the two. It's not a Pro 2 with compression on everything and just like compression on the master bus where you can just like grr. But I can get there with the wing. I can get to the point where I have a together, tight enough, glued together enough mix where I'm happy. But I still prefer the sound of Midas, the Pro Series. HD96 I never tried it myself, but it's probably gonna get me there. So yeah, the SQ is not a bad console, but I was just not impressed, and it did not give me the result that I wanted with it. So there's a market for everything. There's a market for the SQ user. It's not the sound that I'm looking for, but it's not a bad console. I don't see any flaws in it. Like I would see on like cheaper Yamaha stuff. Let's go. The cheaper Yamaha stuff was not up to par with what we got right now. So I'm gonna go exactly like Rob just said. SQ5, 6, and 7 are a good console, but I'd rather mix with the wing. And honestly, I'd rather mix with the wing. The effect feel better, the flexibility of the channel feel better. I'm gonna talk about that in next week in my call with Bobazi, where we talk about the SQ a little bit and how the patching system is like you basically have to restart the engine if you want to do some stuff on it, and so it's like no, not up to par. Not up to, like, price-wise and quality-wise, the wing, if you go price to quality to performance, the wing just totally destroy the SQ series. But it was released before. It was released before the wing. So the wing is newer, better, shinier. Up to you to decide. Does the 2-track button do anything yet? The 2-track button. Well, the 2-track transport button is the recorder, the SD, not the SD, the USB recorder quick control. Plug a USB in the top left corner of the console, and you have access to play stop record. And you can do with the new firmware, well, the one that is public right now, you can go here and you can create some, basically some playlist. I believe it's in clip, because on the public version right now you have show, snap, and clips. I'm gonna leak that out. Snip is probably a snippet. I didn't have time to look into this, but snip is probably a snippet. You're gonna have the effects recall, of course, and you're gonna have the channel full recall, of course, of anything. So, be on the lookout for that for the next firmware. But to answer your question, yes, the 2-track button, it does what it does. It's there to do the 2-track control. The 2-track is the recorder, is the actually USB that you have here on top with the newly designed stuff. So, I hope that answered your question. What would be the best setting to 4-track recording to USB drive? Can you please show different setting? If I go there, what I would do is go 4-channel when I need to record 4-channel, and it doesn't show because I don't have a USB key in there. Let me try to put this one here. I have a USB in there. 4-channel. Doesn't allow me to have 4-channel. Why? Come on. Is there a bug? Is it normal? Do I need to do this? Do I need to do high speed? Do I need to go? Yes. Okay, I need to do high speed. 4-channel. 16-bit is honestly enough to record whatever that you have in there. It's going to cut down on the file size. You don't need to do 24-bit, let's be honest. So that will be my option, and after that you need to go in the routing. I think I'm gonna get that backward again. That's the player. I want the recorder, USB recorder. You can have like 4 option. Could be anything. Just select here, select whatever that you want to record, and you're good to go. I hope that answered your question. And honestly, there's not much more that you can do, like setting-wise, for the 4-track recorder. So, yeah. Confirm Great Desk. Once you will get your mind around it, yeah. Its flexibility will make your wildest sound engineering dream come true. Pretty much. There's not a lot missing. Like, we have a lot of option on the wing. Not a lot of people are... honestly, not a lot of people are complaining about them. There's some like user signal. I know there's Bubba that in my upcoming call to be released next week. Again, no live stream next week, just a video call, pre-recorded, because I'll be on vacation. For those of you who just join in. Yeah, there's like the direct out that are not up to par. Baba is not happy with the way the direct outs are working, because a direct out would follow the source of a channel. He's going to explain that a little bit, but that's the only complaint that I had so far about the wing that I believe really makes sense now that we have the all the recall, all the channel recall, all the effects recall, the clips, and this is really cool. The clip stuff is like awesome for those of you who are running backtrack. You can have a backup of your backtrack, like a stereo backtrack, a click track, and a cue playing from a USB or playing from an SD card, and you can do some like set lists and stuff like that on the USB stuff, and probably trigger that from a computer if you really want to. But you can also be a backup playback guy with just a USB stick. That's awesome. And especially with the rack, once the rack is going to be released, a lot of bands probably going to play their backtrack with just a USB stick. And I will encourage that like plus a million times. You don't have to carry around a laptop. You don't have to carry around anything. You can just direct out your left-right backtrack to front of house, like from to output if you really need to. And that could be your monitor rig. And you have somebody with just a set list with the wing. Probably the iPad app will reflect that. You can have somebody just start the playback from an iPad as a remote control, not as a playing back device. So if it's not a playback device, even if your iPad is crashing, you still have USB playback going. And I believe the console would be really good at playing back a USB key. I believe it will be safe to do it this way, or safer than a laptop. That way, because a laptop, as good as it is to play backing track, it's a laptop that has other stuff on it that can crash. The software can crash, where dedicated hardware to software tends to crash way, way less. This is why people still using keyboards, because you can do awesome things now with just a controller and a laptop. But live with latency and everything, you need dedicated hardware. This is why we still having console right now, because you could take Reaper and build yourself a crazy unlimited amount of channel console, unlimited amount of aux, unlimited amount of in and out template. But latency and possibilities of crash, because it's not dedicated hardware, is so high that you don't want to risk that. This is why people are still using console, because it's a computer. It's a computer. Robbie, really helpful. Thank you. My problem is because I've got a screen bug. You have the mouse plug in, and it doesn't seem to work with the hub. Oh, it doesn't seem to work with the USB hub. I thought it would, but get your screen fixed. Contact Music Tribe, send out a ticket. They should sort you out with that. If you did not break it yourself, they should help you out with a broken screen. Timothy, you're part of this program. Thank you very much. If I'm recording multi-track by SD card, I have to put 2 cards in. If one card is full, it will switch to the second card. I believe it does. I never run out of space on my card because I'm using 500 gigs ones. It's a crazy amount of hour. I have a smaller one here. Just to give you an idea, I have a 128 gigs right now, but I can do 32 tracks. I have a session that is, how long is this? This one is an hour. This one's an hour and a half. This one is an hour 26 minutes, and this one is an hour. And I still have left 49 minutes of recording on that single card, so I do not run out of space on a single card. So if you didn't see my video on that, I have a video where I explain how to format a bigger than 32 gigabytes. Oh, come on. Coffee. I need coffee. You can format basically any SD card and drop it into the console if you format it on a computer before. I have a video covering that. Go take a look. Just like search on my channel SD card. It should give it to you. 32 tracks, almost unlimited time. If you're running like a terabyte card, it will be like stupid amount of time. You can do like 8 or 12 hour with a 500. So just get a 512 card. They're really cheap. They're like 20 to 30 bucks, and they are more than fine. Just record that into your card. You can record only 32 channel. The way I see it is, if you want to record more than 32 channel, I just go with 2 cards, so that will give you 64 channel. But yeah, honestly, SD card will be the way to go. It's safe, it's easy. Well, safe. You're never, you can always have a defective SD card or a corrupted file. It can happen, but seriously, SD card has been proven to be fine so far. So that will be my approach. Just use a big card, bigger than what you need. Like whatever that you think you're gonna need, double that up, and you'll be good to go, basically. And if you want to record 64, well, you have to use 2 cards, because a single SD card can only go as fast as recording 32 channel. I hope that answered your question. What type of SD card? I don't know the right type from the top of my head. I know it has to be like decently fast, but I don't think they sell really bad card anymore. And the maximum supported is 32 gig, but as you can see right now, mine is right now I have a 128 gigabyte, and you can basically put any size that you want as long as you format it with a computer. You want to record 4 hour of church service? Well, 120 gigs will get you there, because right now I have 55 minute, an hour and a half, and another hour. So that's 1, 2, that's 5 hour there. So you'll be good with 128. Get a 256. They're really cheap. Look for what's on discount this week on Amazon. Like, go with a fast one. You don't need to go to the fast one, but go with a fast one, and you should be good to go. There's probably all the right information on the Behringer website about the speed that you need. So just double check that before buying. But just know that size doesn't really matter. Yes, to make the card more reliable, you have to put a battery in, which is a video that I need to do. I just need to buy a damn batteries. If you guys can remind me what kind of battery I need to buy, I'm gonna buy that off Amazon in the next few minutes, and I'm gonna do a video about that, covering up how to record save your file. Basically, what the battery is doing is if it ever senses that the console is losing power, like let's say that you were recording something and you didn't press stop on it before, as soon as the console is turned down, your battery will be there to just say, oh, the console is down, so I'm gonna close the file and I'm gonna finish the file, so you'll be able to play it back once it just gives enough power to the card, so it is going to say, oh, something's wrong here. I'm gonna just shut it down and call it off. So thank you very much, Rob, for the OR123 battery. I'm gonna make sure that I order that, and I'm gonna create a affiliate link for that. Yeah, by the way, shameless plug here. If you guys need to buy something off of Amazon, I need to get some stuff going with my affiliate link. Otherwise, I'm gonna lose my affiliate link. So I'm probably gonna put one for the battery in the description down below and buy it myself. So guys, basically all I'm saying is if you need to buy something off of Amazon, anything, just go through one of the link down in the description, and it could be a 99 cents product buy. Just buy something. I need at least 5 people within the next month to buy me something so I can keep the affiliate program going. So if you think about it, we'll be really appreciated. It doesn't cost you anything. It's just gonna give me a couple pennies for real to out of the Amazon pocket. It will be sent into mine because I send you over. So it's their system, it's the way that they're doing it, and I'm just gonna try to grab my little tiny piece of the cake on that one. So on this note, we've been going for a while. I think we have a good time today. We had a good time. We're having a good time. Whatever. Both. But I'm wishing you to have a good time. We're gonna take the show down from here. And I'm gonna wish you guys, honestly, a good 2 week. I'll be on vacation. I want you to please take care of yourself. And I cannot wait to see you guys in 2 weeks. We'll see if my button's probably not gonna work. So I'm just gonna do it manually, just in case. So I don't do like the button doesn't work thing. Thank you very much for all the good words. Thank you very much for being part of this community. Till the next one in 2 weeks. Take care of yourself. And I see you guys later. No, it doesn't work. That's what I thought. See you.